002 and 0817-923-0003. Those are the numbers to call. I see the phone lines buzzing already. I think this is the right time to start taking your calls. I see some of your WhatsApp messages already. Again, 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp and Telegram number remains 0809-0306416. On X, we're at Nigeria Info PH, and our Facebook page remains Nigeria Info 92.3 page. Go there, watch us live, but most importantly, be a part of the conversation by dropping your comments in the comment section. Where do I begin? I see some messages on Facebook. Hold on a second. All right, while that is loading, Okonamdi from Labor Line Afikpo. A mark can make a student to fail. Imagine a student that's supposed to graduate with a 2-1 graduating with a 2-2 because of a single digit. I used to calculate my CGPA back then, even before we see the computation from the department. So I already know that if it's a B, this is where, and my set had one particular experience. After every computation, this was what they said: the number of causes that was recorded for us exceeded the number of the
possibility when you were doing the computation for
the cumulative unit points for all of us. It was exceeded. We had some borrowed causes and all of that. So what the department did at the time was to go back and remove our was 3. Yes. So I went back and by the time they did all of those things, some of us were already on 2-1. Some of us were already on first class. Some of us dropped from first class to 2-1. You see that particular one? That one devastated some people. People dropped from 4.5. You saw one girl was particularly lucky to drop to 4.5 on the dot.
I think it was not fair when you say they moved your worst 3. So it was not standard. If they say we are going to pick this particular 3 courses, it's across board.
Across board, yeah. Because some people's worst 3s were their C's.
So you see, it doesn't in any way help. So I think that for that one,
and we're expecting that maybe you guys will take away some of our borrowed causes.
Yeah, I may leave it to the department's that would have made sense. But also for the contributor who was saying, just 1 mark might be the difference between the 2-1 and the 2-2. So what are we saying? Are we saying since the person's already nearly there, we will give you the 2-2? But like I said, 2-2 also had a range. It's not as if they say score 10, you get 2-2. No. 2-2 is between a wide range. So you're still just within the border.
But then again, Paul, this is between the both of us now. There's that student who didn't get up to the mark, for instance, 68, 67, 69, actually no less than the one who got to at least 70, 71. In the real world, that 1% difference is invisible. You will agree with me. But if there's no functional difference in their knowledge, why are we creating this massive life difference in their results?
There's a difference. Now, I'll answer it this way. Now, I scored 99% in the test. Okay, you scored 99% in the test, and I scored 1% in the test. Supposedly, that means you know more than I do, right? And yes, really, you do. But do you know that 1% you failed? In a real life situation, maybe it presents itself. You can't solve it, right? But that 1%, you say I can solve it. But let me now ask, if somebody will not say, but you see, this guy is still useful now, at least if we do this thing, this person knows if we do it. But let me ask, who would we entrust an entire project to? Who has more knowledge than the other? It's the person who has 99%. That's the person who has. Now, bringing it down to, because of 1 mark, does it mean this person is less functional? I've just said this. That's 69 and the 100 to 70. 70 is not a mark of its own. The 70 is that you are closer to 100. That's the reason why you're getting the A. And you got 69, you're saying, after all, if this man gets 70 and gets an A, why can't I get the A? No, you are further than 100 than the man who got 70 is the man who snuck in. You now you're looking to sneak in. Why don't you just give me 1 mark? No, the man who got 70, the man who got 71, 72, 73, they're stuck in. They are at least closer to the border. You know, they're closer to the 100 than you are. So that's the reason. Somebody who gets 49 where 50 is pass mark and saying why didn't they give him the 1 mark? You are closer. You who got 49, you are closer to 1 than the person who got 50 is closer to 100.
That one is serious. So it says, my mind, you need to be on the sunny side more often so that you can keep pointing us in the right direction. And this one reads, we can't keep on upgrading. If all students have been given bonus of say 5 marks across board, upgrading students along the borderline will be unfair. Most times the higher scorer determines the mark to be added. I wish I had more lecturers on this one. Didi, I had a lower credit because of one course that I repeated as a result of my refusing to visit a gay lecturer in his hotel.
Wow.
This one is from UD.
Wow.
That's deep.
No, that is a different case.
This is a different case. We refuse to go jam. See that corner you want to take? We refuse to. Okay. Sometimes it could be a case of scholarships. So, what about that person who needs that for a scholarship? Who needs that to graduate? If we say okay, let this person have it, are we sabotaging a future over a margin of error that is literally thinner than some sheets of paper? Look at it. Come on, this person just needs this for. Okay, let's go on a break. Remember 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp and Telegram number remains 0809-030-6416. It's still the sunny side. Stay tuned. All right, so we're back, and we'll soon round off the conversation. So I see that the other two numbers are not connecting. I'll just do a quick test run, but you can try calling 0817-923-0009. Once again, 0817-923-0009. So, point man, I was talking about in cases where that 1 mark could, this is you, this is scholarship. This is you, this is graduation.
So you feel the lecturer should consider that when they mark? No, so should the lecturer also consider the fact that it was the community effort that brought the person to school? So if we do not give the person the 1 mark and he doesn't go back with a first class, and that would be a difference. Should they also consider that maybe the day this person wrote the exam, he was not feeling too fine? If he was fine, he would have gotten 1. Denise, if you consider one thing, you consider everything.
But
that's why there are standards.
Yeah, there are standards, but every lecturer know they're high performing students, and when they see a result that doesn't look like it, for some who are concerned, I mean, some lecturers I know, they're not just about the classwork. They feel like they should hold your hands and say, okay, you want to do this I will guide you through it. And they see this.
Let the student receipt instead, rather than give him the mark and say, no, I know he's capable of doing so. Why give it to him? Just let the student receipt. Yes, that's rather than dashing the mark. Let him write the paper or write another paper again if you feel that's for that case where you say the lecturer knows the person and saying, I know this student, so normally she will not or he will not have gotten this. But let me just add the mark. No, don't add the mark. Let the person receipt. Give the person a different test or exam to write.
It's funny how sometimes people receipt and they perform worse.
Okay, so you see, that's the thing. So that's...
Some receipt and perform way better.
Some may tell you exams are not a true test of knowledge. I agree. But see, we need we need a method of classifying. Didi, we cannot all just be like this. If they say, okay, we need 10 people to go to Tokyo. Okay, rather, if they say we need people to go to Tokyo, all of us cannot go to Tokyo. If they say 10 people, we have to find a way to classify and, demarcate who and who will go. So that's the way life is. And for education, it's pretty much important. Yes, you may say it may not be a true test of knowledge, but we need a way we can grade and know those who we can even entrust with more responsibility than those who won't entrust with lesser responsibility. We need something.
So as we round up the conversation, something I mentioned to you when we were on the break, classification. I agree. Standards. I truly agree. But when that student is so good at cramming, and that person crams their way to the top
and does not remember anything
and does
after
not
the
remember
exam.
Where comes the standard and the classification.
That's why you say maybe perhaps what we should question now is the method of examination. They should not just only be perhaps written examination. There should be a way for practical and theory.
For practical and theory. Thank you so much, Point Man Callow O'Cray, for being a part of this conversation.
My pleasure.
Final words from you before?
Well, I think we cannot continue giving, even if it's an extra mark. That's the way standards continuously drop. We know where we are in Nigeria. How did we get here? Our standards were higher previously. But because we continuously upgraded or gave 1 mark, look at where we are now.
Look at where we are now. Up next is Trending Stories, and thereafter, Sunny Side continues. My name is Denise Dennis Worlu, and this is the Sunny Side of Life. Stay tuned.
1 o'clock.